What is good, brother? I'm back. Look, it's another one of these one-on-one conversations that me and you have been having recently. And I know you've been enjoying them, but if I tell the truth, I've been enjoying them a whole lot too, because they've been giving so much value, not only to you, but to me as well. And this one is going to be a little bit different though. This one, as you can tell, is coming to you from a very different location. I'm not in paradise right now. I'm not sat on my balcony in Cyprus. I'm not in the back of my Range Rover. In fact, I'm back where it all started. I'm back in my old 2011 Seat Ibiza that I used to drive around in when I had my 9 to 5. And not only that, I'm also sat in the car park of my old office where I used to work. So this is going to be a super emotional video because it's coming to you from a place that means the world to me, because this is where I had so many deep, dark thoughts. This is where I struggled. This is where everything began. And in fact, coming back here now and looking around, it feels like a different life. It feels like a different person. It feels like it wasn't even me. But I've come back to the UK this week to gain some perspective. Now, the topic of this video is going to be exactly that. I'm going to talk to you about a few things today. And me and you are going to have a conversation about perspective as a trader, as well as taking some time away from the charts and how actually you can prime your brain to become the trader and the person you want to be. Now, something that I've realized recently is that one of the most important things you can do as a trader is to take time and step away. Now, I know if you're like me, you'll be someone who's thinking you need to be working every minute that you're awake because you feel like you're falling behind or it's slipping away if you're not directly working or trading, backtesting, etc. But I've come to the realization recently that that is just not the case. Burnout in trading is a real thing. Over trading and spending too much time on the charts is a real thing. Now, brother, look, I know it feels like you want to do as much as you possibly can and you're so hungry to become a profitable trader that you're willing to do whatever it takes. But in reality, that is not what is going to get you there, okay? This week right now has been one of the best things I've decided to do in the past couple of years, and that includes moving to Cyprus, because the last 4 days I've been in Germany and now the UK, and throughout those 4 days I've done absolutely nothing trading related. In fact, I've taken no trades, I'd taken no time on the charts at all, no back testing, and I gave my students a brief pause as well, just so that I could take some time and collect my thoughts. And what that has enabled me to do is just to actually take a third-person approach to my own trading, look deep within my own brain and actually understand what was going on inside my head. And I've realized a few things about myself as a trader that I want to share with you throughout this video, and that hopefully you can resonate with too, and will enable you to take that next step in your trading career. But look, the first thing I want to talk to you about is just exactly what I told you. I know you're so hungry, and I know you want to spend every single waking minute on the charts, but something happens when you do that actually slowly erodes your trading and you don't even know it's happening. And what that is decision fatigue. Now, I've been trading for the last 3 quarters pretty much straight. I don't know if I've missed more than 5 trading days this entire year. And up until this week, I would have told you that I don't regret that at all, and that that was a good decision. But having stepped away from the charts, I currently am realizing that there was a lot of things that had slowly started to go wrong, because when you spend so much time on the charts, so much time locked in, especially with all the other stuff I'm doing related to trading, your brain slowly starts to fatigue. And even if you're not feeling physically tired, mentally, you are not quite where you should be. And this is something that can have a real effect on your trading, and it can be such a silent killer. This starts to be stuff like not caring about A+ setups, not risking appropriately, and everyone will have their own triggers. But when you start to spend too much time on the charts, you go ahead and start making these small errors, and that is what is costing you guys a lot of profitability. Now, I can't talk about you, brother, but myself personally, I've started to notice a few triggers. Now, one of the main things I understand when I'm over trading, or when I'm in a position where maybe I am not completely there mentally to be trading right now, is I stop caring about the risk, and the risk becomes essentially not real for me. So maybe I'll be risking 2 or 3K on my live account, and it starts to become not really real. I start to get out of touch with it, and that's just purely down to the fact that my brain is not firing as quick as it possibly should be. And you have to remember this, at the end of the day, you are the extension of your trading account. Your P&L directly comes from your brain right here. Everything from every single trade you take, your P&L, your trading account, your funded status, all is directly descended from what is going on inside your head. Because at the end of the day, you are the one controlling your fingers that are pressing those buy and sell buttons. And when you're pressing those buy and sell buttons, that is directly affecting your P&L and impacting your future as a trader. So if we understand that and take it back to our bare bones fucking roots of trading, if your brain is not in an A+ condition to be actually thinking and firing at an optimum rate, why the hell would you continue trading? We optimize absolutely everything in our trading. You've been taught by everyone to wait for an A+ setup, to ensure the correct liquidity sweep has been made before you take a position, to ensure that your risk is optimized, to ensure that your data collection, your backtesting is optimized. But no one talks to you about optimizing this thing right here, which is making all of those decisions. So this is the premise of this conversation I wanted to have with you right now, because you need to learn to do this in order to go ahead and become profitable. It's a must, it's a necessity. You need to go ahead and understand how to prime your brain to become the best trader you possibly can be. And spending every single trading day on the charts is just not going to cut it. Now, for you, it's going to be different to me, but like I said briefly there, when I start to notice things slipping, like my risk management, or maybe my hesitation before getting into a position, or maybe even the fact that I'm not looking for all the confluences and I'm a little bit more eager to jump in positions. These are things that are tangible notices that I can go ahead and implement and understand when these are happening. Maybe I need to take some time away from the charts. Now, I guarantee when I've started saying this to you, it's all started to click in your mind, and you've started thinking about specific days or maybe even specific losses that you've taken, where you think, yeah, maybe I wasn't thinking straight at the time, or maybe I wasn't 100% there, but you try and power through. And in any other industry, in any other sector of business, entrepreneurship, whatever, they'll tell you if you're not feeling up to the job, you need to persevere and just do the work anyway, because that's how you get ahead. But in trading, it's just not the case. In trading, if you're not feeling 100% there, you're going to make decisions that implement and affect your trading P&L that are just negative, and you shouldn't be trying to force those things. So brother, if you're watching this video, the first thing I want you to take away, rule number 1 is, if you're not feeling up to it, there is absolutely zero shame in taking a day off the charts. Now, people might say to you, oh bro, you're not locked in, or oh, you missed a setup today. But actually you didn't, because you weren't at the highest level of your game in order to actually go ahead and take those positions, manage them appropriately, and in fact, you properly avoided an unnecessary loss. And this is one of the most important things that I can think about as a trader. When I see students that turn up to the charts and they're not quite there, they're not quite putting in the right steps in the morning, but they try and force their way through, because like me, I know for a fact you're the hungriest person that you know, and you're just trying to achieve greatness. And it does come back to that fear of missing out. A lot of people think that if I take a day off the charts and I miss a setup, that's a missed opportunity, that's missed money. Well, if we scale out and again start to think long term, in reality, that is not a missed anything. In fact, long term, taking those days off when you're not quite firing at 100% is going to save you so much money by avoiding all of those unnecessary mistakes. And we can even boil it down further, and we can talk about actually zooming in a little bit more, being glued to the charts on a day-by-day basis. Now, throughout the week, I know you guys are locked in and you turn up to a session and you lock in for a few hours. But if you were to lock in on that week and on that day for 5 hours and literally sit there from New York session open to New York session close, that is obviously going to be over trading. And anyone would say to you, oh brother, what are you doing? Get off the charts. There's nothing printing. There's no volume. The session's about to close. Everyone would know that, right? Because that is just pure, basic, simple overtrading. But what if Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you take a look at the charts, you maybe take a few positions, you're in profit, and then Thursday, Friday, you're actually feeling super fatigued, your head is a little bit foggy, and actually the market's probably not doing what you want it to do anyway, but you want to take those 2 days off. Most people would say to you, no bro, you need to lock in for the end of the week. There's setups to be formed, there's setups to be taken. When in reality, this is something called forced progress, and forced progress in trading just does not work. Now, let me get into the concept of forced progress for you. Forced progress is you focusing on the outcome rather than actually the system that you are trying to implement. Now, as traders, we all want the same outcome, money. Everyone trades for money. You can't really say anything else. Some of us enjoy the process, some of us don't, but at the end of the day, the end goal as a trader is to have a positive P&L and money in the bank. But how do you actually get that money in the bank? Because I for certain know it doesn't come from forcing setups, forcing trades, and forcing trading when you don't need to be doing it. So when you think about actually going ahead and taking time away, you're going to be able to actually step away from the charts when you would be essentially forcing trades, thinking about the system rather than the process behind it all. And actually, when you start to think about the system rather than the result, then what is going to happen is you understand all you want to be doing is turning up to the charts when there's optimum market conditions, but also when you're in an optimum state of mind to be trading, and avoiding all of the unnecessary market condition days and the poor mental state days as well, which is going to enable you to avoid those two unnecessary losses. Now, going back to the premise of this video and actually why I'm making this video, I just spent 3 days in Germany, and I just spent my last day here in the UK. I'm going to be here for the rest of the week, but the last 4 days, I spent no time on the charts. And what did that actually give me? That gave me something called perspective, right? And perspective as a trader is something that a lot of people actually don't think about. So brother, I want you to think right now about your journey. I want you to think about how far you've actually come in the charts. Now, maybe you're not in the same situation as me where you've become profitable, you've made a long-term income out of trading. Maybe you are profitable, but whatever the situation you're in, I know for a fact you're in a better position as a trader than when you started. You're not a beginner anymore. Even if you are, you've learned a few concepts. Even if this is the first trading video you've seen, because you've watched this video, you are now more educated as a trader than 10 minutes ago when this video started. And that perspective is so important because as traders, we can zoom so far in to the 1 minute candle of every single day and actually forget how far we've come and actually forget to be grateful for the journey that we've actually been on. And when you take a step away from the charts like that I've just done the past week, you get perspective not only on yourself as a person, but you get perspective on your trading as well. Now, last week was a great week for me. I had a very good trading week, but I did start to notice towards the end of the week, my trading got a little bit lackadaisical. My risk was a little bit too high. There was trades that I probably shouldn't have taken. And actually, the consequences of each trade sort of went into the back of my mind. I wasn't thinking about them as much as I normally would. But I didn't notice that until I took these 4 days away and actually stepped away from the charts and was able to reflect, because this is why I tell you guys to journal. You are unable to reflect during a task. Think about if you were a football player on the field doing whatever the fuck you needed to do, running down the wing or getting ready to make a pass. You can't reflect on it because you're so focused about being in the moment and doing it that there's no opportunity for reflecting. And trading is the same. When you're turning up every single day to the charts and actually just trading through the day and trying to make as much money as possible, focusing on the outcome rather than the process, there's no opportunity for reflection. So if there's one thing you take away from this video, it's going to have to be take some time off the charts, because I guarantee you, when you come back to the charts on that next day, on that next first day back, you're going to be way more locked in than you were before you took the break. And inevitably, that means you're a better trader. That means you're going to have a higher chance of becoming profitable or passing that funded account or getting that payout. And that means you've made progress. So actually, if we distill it down, taking a week off the charts to reflect and to actually process your mental state, your trading, etc., is not lack of progress, and it's not missing out. It's actually the opposite. You've made progress towards your end goal, which is being the better trader and getting that money and becoming consistently profitable. Now, a lot of people won't think of it that way and they won't put that spin on it, but you have to understand that sometimes you're going to have to take a couple of steps backwards in order to take those next steps forward. And it wouldn't even be 2 steps backwards, it wouldn't even be a step backwards. Actually, you're just freezing still for a couple of seconds and thinking to yourself, what am I doing right now? Is there anything I could be improving on? Is there anything that I'm doing well that I maybe need to double down on? And actually, what can I reward myself for and what can I be proud of, and take that positive energy and positive momentum going forward into the next week. Now, funny story, this morning was my first day back trading. It was my first day back trading and I ended up taking this position right here. £4,300 on the account right there, and I hadn't traded for the entirety of last week. And because I'd taken that week away, that had given me the perspective and the clarity of mind to be able to come to the charts this morning and actually lock in and focus up to the point where when this setup arose, I was ready on the charts to take it. And not only did I take it, I was able to hold because I was seeing the market so clearly, understanding where the final destination of the higher time frames was, that I was not afraid to hold through a little bit of drawdown and then through a lot of profit. You can see right here, this trade was 150 pips. Now, that is a massive trade for me. Most of my positions are normally 20, 30, 40 pips closes. But because I had the extra clarity of mind, I saw where we were in today's market cycle and I was able to actually hold that trade for a lot longer. So you can see just through this example that I've given you, the implementation of stepping away from the charts and actually going ahead and giving yourself some clarity of mind and some actual peace before you get back into the markets helped me out so much today. And aside from the statistical aspect of taking time away and becoming a better trader when you come back more focused, etc., you also need to think about longevity in your trading. Okay, as traders, our goal is not to catch one pump and actually get rich off of one quick movement. Our goal as traders is to create a system that allows longevity, consistent trading throughout a period of years, 5 years, even a decade, in order to actually give us that freedom that we are truly desiring. Now, if you're someone who's turning up to the charts every single day and actually trying to just burn your way through essentially all of your energy and trying to focus up and push through any struggles that you're having without taking time to rest and focus up and essentially recalibrate your mind, how are you going to have that longevity? Burnout as a trader is so real, okay? And this is something that I've fought against as well, because like I said at the start of the video, I'm a person who loves the hustle, loves the grind. I want to outwork people. I want to do more. I want to achieve things faster than anyone else, and I have achieved things faster than anyone else. And one of the main reasons I've been able to do that is because I understand when to rest and when to push. Now, if we turn this into a bodybuilding metaphor for a second, take trading aside and focus on even sports, bodybuilding, the gym. Any coach will tell you the most effective way to train is by taking a specific period of time working out and a specific period of time resting. 5 days at the gym a week and 2 days resting maybe, or 4 days on, 3 days off. Every single trainer will tell you that actually your body needs time to actually rebuild the muscle that is broken down or regain the energy that you've lost from the run or whatever it may be. But everyone forgets that actually your brain needs the exact same. Your brain needs the exact same, and it needs actually time to regenerate, to refocus, to relock in, and also to process things. And this is why as traders, burnout is such a real thing, and it can be so simply avoided by just taking a week away from the charts. But nobody wants to do that because they don't want to miss the setups. You're too greedy, you don't want to miss the move, and you don't want to take time away from the charts because you're so hungry to actually go ahead and get that funded account pass or that payout. Now, being hungry as a trader is a good thing, but you need to actually understand where to allocate that hunger. Do you allocate that hunger into just going, or do you allocate that hunger into actually thinking, what is my end goal? My end goal is to make X amount of money, or to be consistently profitable, or to achieve this freedom. How am I going to get there the fastest way? Well, actually the fastest way to get there would probably be to have the right state of mind, to be turning up to the charts and exercising your system every single day, and actually to go ahead and think, holy shit, my brain is not working right now. I need to take a few days off. And when you start to understand that, what is going to happen is, yes, instead of having consistent progress like this, where it's maybe a little bit shallower, you're going to have a big burst upwards, followed by just a resting flat period like this, and then another big burst upwards. And I guarantee you, you're going to make more progress in the exact same amount of time than if you had no rest days at all, because you are going to come back to the market refreshed, recalibrated, and you're going to be seeing the charts clearer. You're going to be having more energy. And remember, decision fatigue is so real. Decision fatigue is when your brain is so tired, you start to make silly errors. You start to make these little minute mistakes within your trading, but those minute mistakes start to snowball and quickly become failed accounts, blown live accounts, and essentially losing money. And obviously that is not what we want to be doing. Now, we are taught to mitigate losses as traders, we're taught to manage risk, we're taught to cut positions if it goes against us, but actually we need to be taught, and I'm trying to teach you, brother, right now, watching this video, that there is no shame in actually managing risk in terms of your mentality. If you're going down a bad path and your emotions are maybe not there, or your actual headspace in terms of actually reading the charts is not there, it is beneficial for you to take time off the charts. It's not detrimental at all. So remember, the next time you think, maybe I'm not locked in this morning, maybe I'm having a bit of a foggy day, maybe I can't read the charts properly, take a step away and come back tomorrow or even next week. There's always going to be another setup. There's always going to be another market open that you can go ahead and capture. And if there's not another market open that you can go ahead and capture, then guess what? Something's gone way deeper wrong in the world that you don't need to be worrying about trading, okay? There's always going to be another market day. But listen, if you're someone who's grinding like me, stuck every single day on the charts, focusing, trying to make every single little second count, I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. And in fact, this is what Rick, one of my students, had the exact same issues. He literally wanted to turn up every single day and make money in the charts because he was so hungry for it, so eager to go ahead and actually get those accounts passed, that he was actually causing himself harm. And what we ended up doing was fixing that by literally taking a step back, making sure he was trading only at the correct amount of times, not trying to force trades when he was at work and distracted, and only trading when he had the right space of mind. And he ended up getting funded. Now, this is not an advert at all for that, but the point is, this actually works. Understanding where you are mental wise, because essentially trading can be quite a spiritual journey. It's you versus the markets, or it's you versus previous you. And when you understand that, you have to understand that you've got to be the best version of yourself every single day turning up to the charts. Because if you're not, how the hell do you think you can go ahead and go up against the likes of BlackRock or Citadel or all of these big firms that are directly trading against you, using you as liquidity, etc.? It's just not going to happen. But if there's one thing you take away from this video, I want you to understand that principle that I've mentioned to you over and over. Your account, your P&L, every single trade that you've taken directly mirrors you. You watching this video. No matter what state your account is in right now, if you've just requested your first payout, if you've just blown your 50th account, that is all a direct reflection of your mental state right now. Every single trader who becomes profitable has fixed something within their mind that they weren't able to conquer before. And if you're profitable right now, you would know you fixed something and you got over a specific hurdle. If you're unprofitable, you need to figure out exactly what that hurdle is, how to get over it. And for a lot of you guys, it's gonna be that tweak right there that I just mentioned, of taking some time off the charts when you start to actually not be 100% there. Because trust me, I know exactly how you feel, brother. I know exactly how you feel turning up to the charts, wanting to make money every single day, because you have that hunger deep down inside you. You want to escape the 9 to 5 like I did, going into that exact office building every single day. You want to escape that constraint of driving your piece of shit car like I'm in right now from when I used to have a 9 to 5. You want to escape the life that you're currently living, and you have so much hunger to do it that you think the best way to do it is to go ahead and spend every single working hour on the charts. But I promise you, that is not how you're going to get profitable as a trader. Now listen, brother, this has been a bit of a different conversation that me and you have just had, but I hope it's given you a lot of value, because I know for a fact this week away right now has just given me more value than I could have ever dreamed of before. And I actually planned when my next break is going to be and when I'm actually going to start to go ahead and implement these things to my trading. Now, it doesn't have to be a trip like I did to Germany and then to the UK. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could simply be spending the weekend with your loved ones, or spending a week just at your normal job, not even thinking about the charts, not talking to anyone about trading, nothing like that. Or it could be whatever you make it. But look, take some time to reflect on your mental state, to reflect on your trading, and I promise you, at the end of that time of reflection, you are not going to see it as wasted time, wasted opportunity. In fact, you won't even be thinking about the setups that have passed. You'll be thinking about how excited you are going forward with this new headspace that you're in, this new focus that you've achieved, and actually the ability to read the markets in a better way. But listen, brother, I love you so much. I'm so grateful that we get to have these conversations. I think they're extremely valuable for both of us. And yeah, the support you've been giving me recently has been absolutely insane, so I appreciate that very much. I know you're on the cusp of becoming profitable. I know you're right on the edge of achieving greatness, and we're going to be able to do it together very shortly. You just have to overcome that last little hurdle, and I know you're going to do it. I know you are. So listen, brother, I'm going to sign off right now. The markets are open tomorrow. Have a great evening, morning, wherever you are, and reflect and come back to the markets tomorrow refreshed and ready and locked in. I love you very, very much. Drop a like on the video and click that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.